I've been saying it a long time, guys, and I've been saying it because everything that happens in US sports always makes its way over to Europe. And I've been talking about the salary cap for the last 10 years, and it's finally been agreed over here for Division 1 and Division 2. And it'll probably start there, and then they'll be talking about how it can inflict itself on the Premier League. Remember, guys, any agreement in the Premier League as far as the salary cap has to be a UEFA-wide agreement. It cannot be done in one league. It's something that has to be facilitated throughout the whole of Europe, and that's the reason why they will have certain difficulties. But look, you're in a climate now, and many people will fight this. Many people will say, oh, you give the players are free to earn what they want. And that's never stopped America from having millionaires and billionaires and all that stuff. That's never stopped the best players earning the most money and being a showcase for the sport. That's never, ever stopped it. So it's pure ignorance. When you hear that from football fans talking about they don't want a salary cap, they're not looking at the business part, and that's many fans actually. The majority of the fans in football don't give a damn about the business part, but it's the business part that is actually going to end up killing the sport itself. If we don't do something to put a foothold and protect the teams, then the sport and many teams, as we know, will die off. And that's just a fact. The way how money is being inflicted with all the decrease in revenue for and sponsorship and TV money and all that, clubs are going to be representing themselves with a manic situation of how to manage their club. And the only way to do that is to manage the salary. The salaries are the most expensive things right now in football. There's no doubt about it. Arsenal's wage bill is 230 million. 230 million, and that's been increasing year on year for the last 2 decades. And there's nothing that you can do with that except for put ticket prices up and get sponsorship money and try to get as much of that going on. And that's the reason why the fans, when I went to Highbury, my season ticket was £400. Now my season ticket is 1,300 quid. So it has tripled in price due to the fact that players' salaries have quadrupled in price. And unless there's a system implemented to put a foothold on that, it's going to spiral even more out of control, because more and more and more players are going to be asking for higher contracts, higher salaries, and six-figure salaries, and it's just going to be the way of the sport. So very smart move there for the championship teams, because look, I just said Arsenal's wage bill is 230 million a season. Now the championship's wage bill, they're talking about 2.5 million. 2.5 million, it's not that much, is it? 2.5 million. But what it does is it protects these teams from staying in business and presenting themselves with a model that players would have to adhere to. And look, if you're a player and you want to earn much money, put your foot in, get your head down, work hard, and then you'll make it up to the higher leagues, which will pay higher salaries. It's as simple as that. Yeah, you can't have it both ways, guys. You can't have all the fun of the fair and the carnival that surrounds football, and at the same time having teams going down, facing liquidation, points deduction, and everything else. That's the ugly side of football that fans just don't really adhere to. They don't care. That's the bottom line. They don't care. And the players themselves don't care, because the players want to get paid as much money as possible. Do you think the players really care in terms of their own contracts, how football works and the finance of it? They don't, because they want to earn as much money as possible. So the clubs, the leagues, they have to do everything they can in order to protect the sport. So that's all I really want to say about the salary cap for now. I've been saying for a long time, guys, it's going to happen. Yeah, regardless whether it's now, next month, next season, in 5 years or whatever, it's going to happen. But it's no shock to me that Division 1 and Division 2 have agreed it. I know there's a lot of people that's talking about fine print now, and they have to come to, they'll get to all of that. Because what is the most important thing, guys, is to protect the sport. That is #1 priority. Outside of that, guys, a lot of fallout now from Arsenal's Coutinho sighting in London Coney yesterday. As I said, I drove around there twice. Just came from there right now. And again, people are saying that Coutinho was there yesterday, and whether he was or whether he wasn't, it really doesn't make any difference, because we'll know in the coming days what's going to be happening now, because the Bayern Munich Champions League thing, that's going to die out, and then he'll be free to go in and sign or on loan for a new team. Because look, Barcelona are not really mixing their words. They still want around 110 euros for this player. They're not going to get it from anybody, so it's going to be loan, and that's the way how it's going to work. And if you're going to loan him to a team that doesn't really want to pay the 240,000 a week salary, then Barcelona in a lose-lose situation, whichever way they look at it. Yeah, for me, in my opinion, I might as well take the player back because he's worth more to you on the pitch. Yeah, with all that's going on with Neymar and all these ins and outs and people trying to get rid of players, you got a 140 million euro pound player there, and you might as well use him. Brazilian international. I just don't know. Whatever happened between Coutinho and Barcelona, for me, Barcelona is the loser in all of this. I've seen how he can play. You know, he's a very, very good player. He's a quality player. I know Liverpool didn't win the league with him. I know they didn't win the Champions League with him. I get all of that. But the fact of the matter is, he's still a good player and he's still a part of a solution, especially at a club like Arsenal who were looking for quality players. So if it's me, guys, I get this deal overboard. I pull the trigger and I bring in another midfielder. I don't look at strikers. I don't look at centre-backs and defenders. Arsenal's problem is in the midfield. And Guendouzi, who I said, stunning talent, great player, amazing prospect. I don't think that that's on board. So you lose him. Torreira doesn't really want to be a part of what's going on at the moment, supposedly. Dennis Ceballos has gone back home. That leaves you with next to nothing. Nothing. So for me, the first two targets need to be midfielders. A holding midfielder, an attacking creative midfielder, someone in the Kevin De Bruyne role, and that would be Coutinho for me. And then we just focus on Thomas Partey with whatever money we got. I don't really care if we make no other moves at all but bring in two midfielders. For me, that is a deciding factor because you already got William Saliba, Pablo Mari, Callum Chambers coming back. You got more centre-backs than you can throw a dice on. So all these people talking about bringing Gabriel, bringing centre-backs here and there, that's not where our problem is, guys. Our problem is centre midfield, just like what I said on Sonny's show last night. And for all of you guys who was watching Sonny's show, always a pleasure to do. Big up Igel, big up Sonny. And nice to see Springer coming in. Nice to see that he's coming in to be a part of it. And I hope he gets online and shows his face and gives his opinions a lot more over the coming months. But guys, that's it from me. Like and subscribe to the channel and we see where we go from there. But yeah, Coutinho incoming and we see where we are. Peace out, right back at you.